welcome to more Gran Turismo Sport Closed Beta Specialtatin. Today we have some Group 3 cars around Blue Moon Bay Raceway. And I know y'all seen this before, but I'll just go ahead and say this now. This race actually has something completely different in it. There's been competitive runs through the win. There's been some competitive fights for mid-pack. There's been some annoying wrecks that sent me further down in mid-pack. And there's been some helpful wrecks that got me a little bit higher than mid-pack. But, well, this race isn't really a combination of stuff that y'all seen before. This is actually starting off relatively normal. There hasn't been any major disadvantages for me or really anyone yet, and I'm already sort of kind of with the lead pack. That's pretty cool, folks. In general, that is kind of different. I don't really have as good of a win percentage at this new variation than the old one. I actually like this new variation better because I think I overall have a higher finishing position in general, because there's way more lines you can take on this one, so you don't have to be right on the wall the whole time and perfect the whole time about hitting the wall. But the wins actually are lower here, and I can't really complain though. This track is still way better for racing though, and I can't really complain about this car either because it's Viper Origins here in the SLS, and it's pretty big and good all around. As of now, I'm actually still fighting with the lead pack though, so it's pretty big and cool, folks. I mean, I ain't necessarily winning in the lead pack. I ain't necessarily gaining all that much on the lead pack, but I'm with the lead pack, so that is something different, folks, that's for sure. And the race that I actually won here on the new format wasn't really all that competitive. It was just sort of, I ran around in second for about 7 laps. The 2 broke away, and then first messed up, so I just won by like half a second for getting about 2 seconds ahead of second for a while, and he having a little bit of draft on the last 2 laps, but not quite enough to catch up. But this race is pretty picking interesting, folks. This race has a whole heck of a heap of cars and some not necessarily dirty driving. That wasn't the cleanest there, but I don't really think he could really help that. I think he just carried a bit too much momentum in that turn. I tried to bump draft him, as I generally do. As I said, I'll bump draft on the straights, but not the turns. That's why I let off on the turn, but he didn't let off quite as much. So I don't necessarily think that was dirty. I think that was just sort of a minor mistake, and that didn't really hurt either car all that much. I actually ended up getting by both cars, but I think they're both in the general vicinity still. They do actually have to do a little bit of work to catch up, though, because their bottle of ketchup lost some there, but not really too much. My bottle of ketchup, though, ain't really being used too much because I'm pretty much caught up, really. I'm right in the lead draft here, and maybe I can do something with it, folks. We'll just have to see. We'll just have to see, as with all the races, folks. And as of now, I'm actually looking pretty good. I got a decent run on them in a top 2 are battling, so that looks good for me, folks. And there's a pass for the lead there, which slows them down in general. And that gets me ever closer and ever momentum. And it looks like I do have momentum than both of them. So let's see if I can use that while having momentum. And I definitely do have momentum than the Volkswagen because I have the higher top speed. So let's see if I can at least get in the second here, folks. It looks like I might be able to. And Jiminy Cricket, it looks like I do. But I am on the outside, so I don't necessarily have the best line. And yeah, I'm going to call that incidental, but that's iffy, folks. It doesn't really hurt me in the long run because there's still a whole heck of a heap of racing left and I'm still under draft. But yeah, I hope he doesn't do that on the last lap. I'm going to be a bit more mad about that if he does that on the last lap. But it ain't the last lap yet, so not really all that big of a deal. And as of now, the pack is actually getting a little bit bigger there. This is at least a 5-car pack now. I'm in 4th and I see somebody behind me. I can't really tell if there's anybody behind him or not. It's I don't think so, but I don't really know the draw distance in the rearview mirror. I'd assume good, but I don't really think there's been extensive tests on that. I don't know. But nonetheless, I can't complain with Jiminy Cricket. I think it was three wide for the lead there, and I'm right with that pack. And actually pushed that WRX into the lead, sort of kind of incidentally. I mean, I didn't really want to let off there and lose my momentum, so I guess he was a beneficiary of that. And he's still in the lead for now, but, well, there goes me helping somebody. That's what happens when I help somebody there. I guess if I would have let off there, it wouldn't have carried as much momentum in that turn. He probably would have made it better, but in theory, that should have helped him. But actually, as I say, I let him already back around that driver. I don't know if that was him being nice and letting me back through, if he just messed up there, but either way, I can't really complain. But oh, Jiminy Cricket. 3 wide down, yeah, that 3 wide for that section there is hard to do because cars understeer there anyway and touch that wall. And when you have 3 cars understeered towards that wall, there's gonna be some bad stuff happening there. And yeah, I guess that was the best of a bad situation there. I don't think anyone lost a draft there, so I mean, not really all that bad. And Jiminy Cricket, I think this is something completely different here because I'm still right in a pack racing for a win. Usually if I race for a win, it's either 2 or 3 cars break away and it's a competitive race, or I race for a win with like 2 cars and it's not really all that competitive. Now I'm actually racing for a win with a pack. That's different, folks. That's definitely different. I think this is overall the best and most competitive race I've been in now. And it is sort of kind of a 2-car breakaway a little bit, but that WRX is still plenty in the draft. And he definitely did do a very brave move there. Jiminy Cricket. Okay, I'll give him props on that. He made that stick. It didn't mess me up any with a whole heck of a heap of late braking there. So, yeah, good job there to WRX. I don't know if I quite be that brave yet. I don't want to wreck this general pack yet. The wrecking and smashing and bashing and all that are starting on the last lap, but the last lap is actually coming up quicker than lickety split, but still, don't wreck yourself until the very end, and preferably don't wreck yourself at all. But I guess really nobody's got all around wrecked yet. Some people's been bumped and all that kind of stuff, but not really any big wrecks yet. But it's the last lap now, so if there's going to be a big wreck, it's going to happen now or pretty caught picking soon. I hope there ain't. I hope I can just win this on speed alone, but we'll just have to see, folks. We'll just have to see. That Volkswagen, in theory, I should be able to get around, but actually I have a better run on that WRX. So that means I can't really use the WRX's momentum because I have way too much momentum to use it, so I kind of had to split the middle there, but it kind of sort of worked. Jiminy Cricket there, I split the middle, that worked, and now I have a run on the leader, so I'll try the bottom line here, but Jiminy Cricket, he has a whole heck of a heap of momentum on the top high line there. I tried all I could there, but I couldn't quite make it stick. I don't really think it would have mattered if I made it stick anyway. And well, Jiminy Cricket, I split the middle, and that worked out real good for me. Somehow I didn't cause any wreck whatsoever there. Everybody stayed in the draft. I split the middle, and it worked. But I couldn't quite get the win there. But that was one of the best passes I think I've ever made at this track. I split the middle going into the last turn on the last lap, and I made it stick. So I can't really complain too much there, folks. That was a whole heck of a heap of big battle there with a big pack, and I ended up getting second out of that on a qualified pretty caught picking. Not really low, but not nowhere close to second. So I can't complain whatsoever, folks. And this has been more Gran Turismo Sport Closed Beta Specialtatin, and there'll definitely be more to come. Yeehaw!